What is up, guys? The Nike England kit debacle rages on, and the Windsor's request for privacy results in a carpet bomb of front page coverage. It's time for an alternative paper review. First up to the Daily Star this morning. Now they are sorry? And this is, of course, in reference to people who deigned to criticise Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace for putting out that doctored photo. Oh, now you're sorry that you mocked a woman with cancer, you monsters! I mean, it's so tedious, isn't it? It's like, nobody knew that she had cancer at the time. Nobody knew that. All we knew is that we hadn't seen or heard from her for weeks on end, and then Kensington Palace put out this doctored, engineered, digitally constructed photo. I think it's quite reasonable for people to go like, hang on a second, what is going on? And given that we had an information vacuum and these are people with billion-dollar PR departments, yeah, I think it was ripe for parody. Now, does that mean I don't feel bad for having believed some of the stuff that was going around about them last week? No, I do. I feel really bad about that, and I absolutely understand that this is a family now going through some things and they need a little bit of time and space. I get that. Though it's perhaps not immediately clear to me why that time and space might include the front pages of every major newspaper publication this morning. Oh yeah. Take a look at these. We've got the Sun on Sunday, we've got the Express, we've got the Star, we've got the Sunday Telegraph, Prince's pride and courage of his wife. The People say Kate will be brave and fight like I did. We've got the royalist right-wingers at the Mail saying, Kate, I'm so touched by everyone's outpouring of love. The Sunday Times say Kate wrote every word to reassure the nation. And even over leftward to the Mirror with thank you for your warmth and support, we are both so touched. It is honestly, truly, North Korean levels of media sycophancy here. The narrative has been completely upended. Like this time last week, we were talking how the royal approval rating had fallen south of 50%, had William cheated on her, and why were they doctoring images? And this week, we're allowing the Mac-wearing phone hackers of the Sunday tabloids to take the moral high ground? Are we? Like, how dare you mock an innocent, dignified royal? Like, I pan over to the Sun or the News of the World, I'm like, aren't you the guys that hounded the other one to death? Finally, a quick look at the Observer. Revealed the deadly tactics used to keep migrants from our shores. Now, this is a story. There's a video of a French boat attempting to ram a small boat, like, over. And it could potentially lead to mass casualties, they say. And when I read that, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, so you mean murder, then? Like, at some point, our British government and possibly the French government are going to have to reckon and reason with the fact that ramming these boats, going out into choppy waters with a harpoon gun, or turning boats around and pushing them back out into stormy waters is probably not a valid asylum policy. Like, it's going to fall foul of international law. It's going to result in prosecutions. And honestly, it's better that we sort this out now rather than in like 2 years or 5 years or 10 years time. Like, it's 40,000 a year at the moment that we're getting, like asylum seekers coming across, right? 40,000. In about 10 years, once climate change renders whole countries uninhabitable, you're going to see a gigantic migration of people desperate to come to a slightly warmer country like the UK. Like, if your granddad is bursting blood vessels now about just 40,000 people and calling that an invasion, you better pray that he passes away peacefully in his sleep sometime between now and 2035. Because honestly, the sight, the visage of 1 million desperate people rocking up on British shores in 2030, I mean, that will send him off with 2 strokes and a heart attack. Finally, the story deepens with the criticism of the Nike England kit. So that was the front page of The Sun from, was it yesterday or a couple of days ago? And now everyone's saying, boycott Nike! Boycott Nike! I'll never buy another Nike thing again. Which must be devastating for Nike, you know, to be boycotted. Oh, hang on a second. They're already being boycotted over their sweatshop factory use, right? And then in conjunction with that, or at the same time, they're already being boycotted over using Dylan Mulvaney as their spokesperson for the sports bras. Now they're being boycotted over this as well. Nike are always being boycotted. I mean, it's the ego of it that gets me. It's like that Nike should care what I, Dave from Dagenham, think about the cost of their kit? Was Dave from Dagenham ever going to buy that Nike kit for 125 quid? Really? Or do we think maybe Dave from Dagenham is just making a big song and dance about this? Just like Dave from Dagenham did a big song and dance about the proms. I'm going to boycott the proms. You were never going to the proms. Oh, well, I'll never watch the BBC again after that news night. Yes, you will, Dave. Shut up. I mean, honestly, if these people get that upset about an English flag cross having a little bit of purple and stuff like, they are going to lose their minds when I start my campaign to turn the poppy pink this autumn. Who's on board?